Come one, come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. Come one, come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. Give praises to Jehovah, from whom all blessing and knowledge will flow. Blessing and knowledge will flow. The Village Talk Show, dedicating to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life, helping each one of us in realizing our dream at any age, any point, starting from today, day. Success. Come one, come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. Come one, come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. Success is not spoken, it is done. Success is done. Come on now. The Village Talk Show. Talk Show. The Village Talk Show.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Village Radio Talk Show. I do want to start off first by apologizing for our lateness, our tardiness to the show tonight. We had a number of difficulties with the studio, and so we had to try to figure that out, and so now so we're good.
Yeah, man, we hear rain, snore, sunshine. Welcome. Apologies, villagers.
So thank you for watching, viewing, sharing, participating, subscribing to the Village Radio Talk Show. I am Roger Daly, your host. With me joining me in studio is Andre Doman, our executive producer, and where we are dedicated to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life through education, helping each one of us in realizing our dream at any age, starting from today. So on behalf of our co-host, John Sampson, our co-hostess, Dr. Joanne Bryan, we welcome you to the Village, our producer, Sophia Willissy. Just want to say big up and thank you so much for joining us today, even on the late start. We have so much to talk about in studio. Look, Dr. Bryant has joined us on here, so welcome, Dr. Bryant.
Good evening.
So I want to thank Dr. Bryant for coming out because she's a little bit under the weather. So everybody, when you get in, just send her a shout out, and so she could smile, although she's not going to, all right, because she's not feeling too hot today. You want to tell the audience what happened? Why you're not feeling
No.
Did you just say no so dry?
Yeah.
As usual.
Whether she under the weather or above the weather is still the same response.
The same, yeah. Thank you for telling her that, so she can feel better. So she thinks, I left my water home. Dr. Mike, why did you remind me to bring my water? Her one-word response. I'm going to excuse the one-word response to the audience because.
And so we want to get in.
Well, let's get right into it because we're 40 minutes late?
Yeah, you want to play one of the commercial them first, or we start?
Yeah, let's do that. That's actually, let's play the song by Keisha Money. Is that up?
I gotta situate that. Then get.
Right,
give me a difficulty.
Let's go through the commercials. Let's do.
All right then. We're gonna start with this one.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Hello,
bro.
ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you so much. That's the old flyer, Andre, the new one. Grace Family Adult Social Daycare at 1330 Utica Avenue, where, once you have Medicaid, it's free. You come out as a senior, you come out, you do for the day, you do some activities, get some food, a whole list of activities from pool, table tennis, dominoes, bingo, cards, board games, arts and crafts, salon services for ladies and men. I know I need to get a haircut myself, so I might just join Medicaid just to be part of that. So the food, by Arriva Management Services, call 646-504-5778 or send an email to gracefamilyadult@gmail.com, or you can look at the website at gracefamilyasdcare.com. They will be having an open house coming up real soon within the next couple of weeks, so you need to look out for that. Stop by the location, see what they're doing there. 1330 Utica Avenue will be open up during the days for you to come by and to take it's a 5-10 minute tour. You might even get a chance to meet me and say hello while you're here, because if I'm in the office. So again, looking forward to hearing from each and every one of you. All right.
All right. Let's see. Ready for the next one? Who loves food?
Just run them on.
Footprints Cafes now offers Caribbean flatbreads, available in 11 mouth-watering flavors, including favorites like jerk chicken, curry chicken, honey garlic chicken or shrimp, ackee and saltfish, garlic cheese, and more. Our flatbreads are satisfying and can be enjoyed by the entire family. So make it a flatbread night at Footprints and enjoy the fusion of flavors. These flatbreads are so good, you might just have to fight for that last piece. Good thing there's plenty more where that came from. Get yours today from any of our Footprints locations. Want to enjoy your flatbread at home? Then order on Uber Eats and get it delivered right to your door. We'll see you there.
We also have the beautiful song by Keisha Martin. I can't forget.
I remember the way I used to feel. Now it's so surreal. I thought we made a deal. I can't forget you. I remember the pictures on the wall. Try not to hold on, but clearly after all, I can't forget you. There was a time when I would let you drive me out of my mind. I would do anything for you. Let's just rewind to the days when you could read my thoughts, don't have to say anything to you. I remember the way I used to feel. Now it's oh so real. I thought we made a deal. I can't forget you. I remember the pictures on the wall. I'm trying not to hold on. I clearly, after all, I can't forget you. Wake up in bed. I can't believe that so much time has passed. Oh, it's night again with you. We haven't been fed. There's no thought of eating nothing. Oh, my emptiness is filled with you. Yeah.
All right. So that was Keisha Martin. Martin. I don't know if it was Martin, right? Just one of our Caribbean ladies. There's a few songs out on Spotify, or Spotify, not Spotify, on Spotify. So you can go on Spotify, download her music, and support her. Footprints, come out and support them. They have four different locations: one in Nostrand, one on Flatbush, one on Clarendon, and one in Coney Island. So if you want to go out by the beach and you can take a nice little walk, you can go out and join. If you just want to have some kind of outdoor, please do come out and support. And again, I ask us to support those that support us. So I want to dig into it, Dr. Bryant. There's so much that needs to happen. Um, hey Tanisha, hey Empress, pleasure. I see a few people on, so welcome all the villagers out here this evening. Let's get right to it, right? It's back to school. A lot of things are happening, and it's not all positive, ladies and gentlemen. There are a lot of things happening with our young people.
Mhm.
Parents are not, you think school, it has just started, so certain things you're not doing, right? You're not doing school. So tell us about one of those negative things, Dr. Brian. What's going on that parents need to be aware of?
Well, one of the things I actually would love for parents to do is just be vigilant with your kids, especially this month. This month is full of a lot of excitement, not because of it being a Halloween month, but also being October. For some who are in the education field, you'll notice more uprise of crimes happening. For example, last week, the young man who got stabbed on the bus, um, the 13-year-old that got stabbed on a bus in Staten Island, and it was more gang initiation by a 14-year-old. Or another student who got shot right in front of my child's school, um, Edward R. Murrow, and it was gang related. So this month is known as Gang Initiation Month. So you'll see a lot of people try to do all types of foolishness just because they want to fit in, but they don't have to fit in, because if families are showing them the love and just reinforcing them and just encouraging them that you already have a family, you don't need outside people to make you feel as though you belong to a community of learners, you have your own family, that you don't need to commit criminal activities in order to try to fit in. So be mindful of that especially Halloween coming up, that people try to do all types of strange things during that time, and especially with what's happening overseas, that also affects us as well. And young folks going to school tomorrow, just be mindful, parents. Don't forget to keep an extra eye out on your kids. And if you're noticing crowds, just be mindful of that as well.
I want to add a couple of things. One is negative, but both of them are negative, but negative from a different, two separate angles, right?
Mhm.
All of these negative gang members
Mhm.
um, and violent people belong to a family.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna not gonna say what you said.
Mhm.
I'm gonna put it back to the young person, and I'm gonna say that even if those people are in your family, don't choose the negative path. Choose a path that where you have
Okay.
envisioned yourself to do something positive. Right? I mean,
Mhm.
we know our family members. Some of them carry guns. The fathers and mothers are alcoholics and they're abusive and they're violent, right? And they teach their kids
Mhm.
violence, right? And so
Mhm.
violence is not always taught on the street, right? It's not always the negative person in school, but it can be the negative person at home, the negative person in your family, right? That
Mhm.
is doing that. That kid idolizes, and so that's a problem. You know, I'm not here to chastise anyone for drinking or smoking or whatever the case is. I'm here to
Mhm.
chastise you from abusive behavior from those things that you
Mhm.
do. So I don't want to just tell parents, or I'm not just speaking to young people, but I'm also talking to everyone. Be cognizant of the environment that you
Mhm.
include yourself in. And the second thing I want to remind parents and students that at the end of the month they have what freshman initiation day, right? And a lot of that goes into the violence, that goes into um, violence being portrayed or put on to our young people for freshman initiation day. So parents, please be vigilant. Young people, be vigilant. Be safe out there. It's
Mhm.
not it's not an easy world. It's a cruel world for for all intents and purposes, right? So I just want everyone to be very, very cognizant about that. So just be careful. The other thing, our parents, please do me a favor. It's the beginning of the year. Please do not have your child lost already 6 weeks into school.
Mhm.
Lost, meaning like you're like, oh, school just started. If your child hasn't come home with a test yet, you need to question what's going on already, right? In high school, the first marking period is pretty much over. Like I have another week, maybe 2 weeks. I don't know the exact dates. I'm no longer in high school, but it's within. Hey, Keisha, um, that's Keisha Martin, who's with us on the YouTube. We just played her song. Um, it was a beautiful song, by the way. You have a great voice, great, great voice. Um, so, Andre, what song do we play for Keisha? You could just text it in the chat. It was good. She has a song that I love called Angel. Um, that's also like an awesome song as well. And she has a few songs that I love. I do enjoy listening to her. Oh, I can't forget. All right, so you could get it. Kisha, can you text where people can hear, download, see your videos while we're having this conversation? Andre will just bring it up in the background um, for for our audience out there who are listening in. So, like I said to parents, the marking period for the high school is about almost over. Like within the next week and a half, 2 weeks, it will be over. So make sure that your child is behind. Don't listen to guidance counselors. Um, don't listen to guidance counselors that say to you, it's just the first marking period. Remember, it's cumulative, right? So what you do in the first market period, what you do in the second, what you do in the third, that's a semester. So it's most schools take the average of your marking period, and the average of every marking period is your final semester grade. Then, so that marking period, that semester grade, and the June semester grade, they add up to give you a first year average. That means that every marking period counts. Now, it's weighted. It's not weighted. It counts. So if you get an 81st marking period, you get a 65 first marking period, an 82nd marking period, and an 85 third marking period. Your average is at 81.67 or something like that. I'm not doing the math, right? So the 65 that you got average in the first marking period counts, right? Some teachers, so through social promotion, would say will increase your average to help you out in the first marking period. But if it's too bad, it can't help out. So just be careful of that. So parents, if you don't see children coming home with homework, don't come home with any work. Oh, my teacher didn't do this, my teacher didn't do that. Please make sure that you question that school. There've been, I believe, Dr. Bryant, that uh, all schools have had some level of parental conference. Am I correct?
Yes,
In New
but
York
that should
City.
be coming in November.
All right. So make sure you ask me a question. Have your child's principal email on mine.
Yeah, because some marking periods finish the end of October, some finish in November, believe it or not.
Well, yeah, it depends on the level of the school.
Hmm.
Right, depending on the level of the school, because if it's high school, it's going to be October. Once it's high school, it's October because there's 3 marking periods in the semester. All right, where the overall grade is the June. Some schools have June. Some schools have January and June. So be careful because there's semester classes and year classes. You need to know that as well. Ask the principal, which can be a bigger problem if it's a year, because at least if they kind of screw up the first semester, that's the problem with a year class, right? It's one shot and you're done. You get what I'm saying? Well, in the semester class, at least you get 2 shots. Just you can get a shot to start over. So let's be careful of that. So Keisha said that you can get her music in all streaming platforms. So please go out and support. So I want to start off with George Santos. I don't want to start with Israel yet. I want to go to George Santos first.
And your buddy too, Mendez, actually got more charges as well today.
I'm not going to start. Let's not start with Mendez. Let's not start with him. Let's start with what's going on in Congress. So Matt Gaetz, for those of you not familiar with the story, last week, Tuesday, had a vote because Kevin McCarthy, this was unprecedented. I guess Kevin thought McCarthy felt like nobody was going to challenge him. But the idiocracy of it all is he didn't get unanimous support, or it's set up in such a way that he had to bargain away a lot of things that would allow him to become, that would then make it easier for him to become Speaker of the House. And one of the things that he bargained away was the ability to call a revote, right? Is the ability to recall a vote. And I'm going to say this from early. If everything goes, Andre doesn't like when I do that, but next week, our guest will be Congresswoman Yvette Clarke. If all things work out, but in Congress, they might be called out to vote. So hopefully she's not called away to vote, but she'll be here a little bit to talk about what's going on in DC in terms of that. So when he was running for the seat last year in 2022, when there was a changeover in Congress and the Democrats were no longer the majority, because that's when Nancy Pelosi took over. He had to concede so many things to become Speaker. And one of them that he conceded was the ability to call the election anytime, like an idiot. So Matt Gaetz, who literally has no plans, no idea, he doesn't want to be the leader, but he's contentious. Come to think of it, I have somebody like that on my board. Don't want to be leader, but they're very contentious. So they challenge everything you do, but they don't want to lead. So if you say A, they're going to say B, right? And that's exactly what happened. So he got voted out with no leader in sight.
But you know what? He held him. He was one of the ones that was holding on to the vote before because he wanted Trump to be in power when they were actually voting for
Who's he?
McConnell.
Call names. Matt Gaetz? Okay.
Absolutely. He was one of the ones that, hey, made a deal with him. He was the devil in the crew, to be honest with you.
Well, he was never really for Kevin McCarthy from the get-go, right? Steve Scalise was not for Kevin McCarthy to begin with, right? He was not. So these two automatically were not. So what they did was they found another 6 just disgruntled
Marjorie Taylor Greene, that whole crew, that posse,
right? Gnarly he got the 6 votes he needed because I guess the Democrats went to bed with the devil and saved
After
it.
15 rounds, he got declined how many times? You know, for to want to be in control and want power so badly that you sell your soul, that's what people tend to do.
And that's
And
what
that's
he.
the
I,
quick.
I wouldn't go as far as to say sell your
No, it
soul,
is true.
but
It
it
is.
is not. It is not.
It
What
is because
I disagree. That I think that's a
he
strong
nope,
statement.
nope, because the
No, I
thing
think that statement comes from the fact that you don't like politics. I don't think he sold his
nope,
soul.
nope, nope,
No,
nope, nope,
right.
nope,
What he did was,
I stand behind my statement.
and you can stand behind the statement all you want. I think that's a very strong statement. You're saying the man is
And
going
I'm
to hell.
very much so. I mean it because the thing is, here it is. He's a guinea pig. Whatever they tell him to do, he will bend and do. When he
No,
decided
that's
not to,
why. That's
then he
why.
decided the one time he decided to have a backbone, they're like, oh no, you're not gonna do what we want to do. You're out. So
Again, that's why he's not in power because he wasn't a guinea pig. That's why he's not in power. Let's be clear,
mm,
right? Let's be clear
well,
because they wanted to control him, right? They wanted to control him. And
and they did.
I'm going to say it out loud in public. I have people on the board who want to control me,
Yeah, but guess what? They
right?
did because even
They
with
didn't.
yes, they did. There's certain things that they push him to do when he actually knew that it made no sense. For example, the investigation on the president, impeachment on the president, that was something that they forced, and they're like, you need to do it.
Listen. Cut it out. You know
No,
why I tell you? I'm not saying. I know sometimes I say expressions that seems a little bit rude. I'm not trying to be rude. What I'm trying to say when I say cut it out is think about what the Democrats did for Trump. They impeached him twice. He's the only president of the United States of America that was bipartisan impeached twice.
but that's on his way out.
No, but you see, one of them wasn't on his way out. The second one was. What I'm saying to you is the Democrats.
A tit for tat. Is that what
Exactly. The Republicans are in control, right? The Republicans are in control. They don't want a Republican president. I mean, a Democratic president. So they're playing that stupid game.
But they
right?
did the same thing to Obama. Everything he wanted to do, they went against it. So
the Senate,
What?
right? The Senate went against it, right? A lot because it was a Democratic Congress, right? So that's the point of what I'm getting at, right? So I wouldn't say that the impeachment piece. So anything that
But
looks
it had nothing to do with him. It had to do with his son. So they're using his son.
no,
If that's the case, they should use Trump's son and daughter.
that's the point. That's the point. That is exactly the point. What they're upset at, they're not mad at that. They're mad at the fact that he went after he agreed. He came to something in a bipartisan way in the last vote. And Matt Gaetz is like, are you crazy? How are you going to agree with these Democrats? You're out.
But
So he was looking to say bipartisan way.
Gingrich was like he's an idiot and he should be expelled out of the Republican Party because the thing is,
Matt Gaetz or
yes, Matt Gaetz should be removed.
I know you meant Matt Gaetz. I'm just saying that call the name so people are aware of following the names.
Yeah. So the former Speaker of the House even criticized what he did. He was like, listen, you are chaotic. You have no plan, like you said, but just to create issues and tension and bigger problem. So now, hey, the United States is in the middle of a war. It's not them in war, but they're participant because they have citizens that's outside and they can't do anything.
As of early this week, I don't know what numbers up to the 14 Americans were killed in that war right now.
And
14 Americans and counting.
And I'm there's some that's missing. I had the numbers earlier. I'm sorry.
Right. So I mean, so for me, America is in chaos. It's Trumpian like, right? When America was not that what I would not because I personally don't believe everything Trump did was bad, right? I believe some of the things that Trump did were good, were excellent, right? So I don't agree with all of his policies, But a lot of his policies and things that he wanted to do,
Mhm.
right? For one, I didn't like the border wall, but I like border protection.
But guess what? Who's building the border wall now?
Again, like I said, I didn't like the border wall, but I do believe in border protection. I think that
But now Biden is pushing that. Here, I'm gonna say something. I feel as though um our mayor going away and visiting the different places that the
mm,
migrants are coming from push the president into moving into action, because why should a mayor have to, hey, let me find out what's happening in order for you to actually make a move? That's a problem. Not until he went on his travels did he say, okay, you know what, we are gonna have to stop this, and we're gonna have to, there was money put aside for the border walls. But it's as though they are pushing, like, for example, Cuomo, former governor Cuomo, had to take a leadership role in order for Trump to even do anything when it came to COVID. So now with this migrant thing, it took the mayor to actually travel internationally to find out, have conversation, and doing things that maybe the vice president should have been doing, that he's doing, in order to figure out where, how can we put a stop to this? Why does it take New Yorkers to push people into movement and change? That's interesting.
I think, oh, I hate when you need to sneeze and it's coming and it don't really come. I think you're right, right? I think that there are a lot of pressures, right? There are a lot of pressures on society to curb the migrant issue, and we were supposed to have a guest on that. We're still working on guessing to be here for the next couple of weeks. In the next couple of weeks, and our congresswoman will also be talking about that as well. I think, right, and we moved on very quickly from Kevin McCarthy to talk about the issues of migrant communities, right? The economic toll on the United States right now,
Mm-hmm.
because migrants aren't coming in with money from their country.
Mm-hmm.
When Eric Adams, I believe, I didn't speak to him about it, right? I don't want. I'm speculating, right? It's my conjecture.
Mm-hmm.
New York City, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
Detroit, and a couple other cities,
Mm-hmm.
Boston, Massachusetts, and a few others, are known as what you call sanctuary cities. Sanctuary cities mean that anybody who's undocumented or seeking asylum can come to that city free of and stay there without legal repercussions,
Mm-hmm.
direct legal repercussions, right? So whether, as Empress Danielle like to say, they're illegal immigrants, which I tell her they're not, or they're migrants, right, who came under the guise of some kind of protection. Because the migrants, ladies and gentlemen, are very free, and even they can even walk up a sign and say, "I'm a migrant," and they cannot be deported, right? An undocumented person cannot say, walk with a sign that say, "I am undocumented, I dare you to arrest me." That's not how it works. That's what makes the difference between illegal and legal. Okay? So I'm just telling you, Empress. So you can cut it out with the wait, did she write on it? Let me see what she wrote. They're illegal immigrants. They're not. I just explained why they're not. I don't care how you feel about it, Republican, right? So the reality of the situation, right? The reality of the situation is that he 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 was expecting to gain federal funding, right? Federal funding for the migrants. But the countries where they're coming from, because they're seeking political asylum, because there's oppression against them in
I
their
don't want to
country.
hear that because there's plenty of other countries that have oppression.
Hey, I'm not saying it's true. Wait, I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's true or false. And I'm not saying that they're not other countries. And I'm not saying that other people don't deserve the right. That's not what I'm arguing. I'm not even arguing any point. I'm just simply telling people facts. Okay? It's all facts I'm saying. Whether it's a lie, it's true, it's somewhere in between of why they and what they use. Like people use TPS, protective services. All of them don't need TPS, but they know it's illegal. It's a way to get around the system. DACA is a way to get around the system. It's having a child in the United States and you turn 18 and you have a child in the United States of America, and when the child gets old enough, they go to the army and they file for you. That's illegal too, but it's a way around the system. You come here, you run off on your visa, you get married, right? And you file documentation. It's still a way around the system. Some take longer than some. Either way, you're trying to beat the system. So I'm not debating legal, illegal, what you want to say. Okay? Everybody's looking a way to beat the system. The point that I'm making is the migrants are expected to come with federal dollars. Just like in the school system, right? In the school system, we have Title I, correct? Title I provides additional funding for the school. So the school will get a certain amount of funding if you're a Title I school. If I'm a migrant sanctuary city, I get additional federal funding. And they're not getting it at the scale where the migrants are. It's kind of like ironic, Dr. Bryant. The city is now feeling what schools are feeling when they give them Title I and don't give them enough funding to support the child's need. And that's what's going on. So the school has to cut programs. Mayor Adams does not have, right, that does not have the resources to support these migrants. They entered the country illegally, so they're illegal immigrants. They have to prove credible fear as to, yes, you're saying exactly what I'm saying.
But you know what? There's other countries that have the same thing.
But it's not the issue.
They pick and choose.
I agree. I'm not saying the system is correct.
That they're going to let in.
I'm not saying the system is correct. I'm saying the terms that we're using. It's unfair. I personally feel like Empress Danielle, this is why we're arguing back and forth. We both feel that an undocumented person who is staying in the United States for years should be afforded the opportunity to have legalization here in the United States. And these people beat the system for the most part and came to the United States and don't have the necessary documents, but they're free to go. They provide food, shelter, and transportation. Right? Whereas an undocumented who is doing the right thing, being a housekeeper, being a babysitter, taking care of an old person, the elderly, protecting our vulnerable Americans, working in a restaurant, doing delivery work that many of us won't do because we're legally able to be here. They're not getting protected. And some of these people are like doctors. They were doctors in their countries, lawyers, accountants in their countries. I've seen it before. That they came here thinking that they were going to get a better life and they're stuck. So we're not saying something different, Celia. We're not saying something different, Empress. Only thing I want to make sure that people understand that you can't, somebody that's illegal cannot roam the street easily if you're illegal. A person who has a criminal, if there's a warrant out for your arrest, you can't just randomly let everybody know. But if you don't have a warrant and the police pulls you over, you don't have anything to fear. Migrants, police pull you over, you have nothing to fear. And undocumented, police pull you over, you fear getting deported. Which one is legal? That's my point. So
Do you think they had time enough to vet everybody who came in?
I don't. Again, I'm not arguing that everybody deserves to be here. I am definitely not arguing that everybody is legit. That's not my argument, because they're not. Everybody is not legit. Everybody who gets married who's undocumented didn't fall in love. Okay? So let's just be clear about what I'm saying. I'm not saying, right? So at the end of the day, that's my point. I know, right? I know that sometimes everybody who the church files for to give their papers, that's not legit. Some people just use the church because they know that's the method. All of a
They're
sudden,
not doing that anymore.
no, yes, they are. They are.
Okay.
Right? I know this factually, so I know that. Right? So, holy, holy Lord God Almighty doesn't mean they're all Christians. Right?
Good evening, John.
Good evening.
John, I miss.
Fellow,
I'm getting tortured by Empress Celia and Dr. Bryant about this migrant illegal issue.
what about the migrants? What are you talking about, my people? What's up?
Well, I'm just informing them. They feel that the term illegal is appropriate for them, and I keep saying it's not.
They're asylum seekers. That's what it is.
Exactly.
There's a lot of asylum seekers from all over the world.
You keep saying that. We're not arguing that other people that they shouldn't expand the program. You make it sound like we're arguing that they shouldn't expand the program to other countries. Actually, I don't think they should expand the program at all. I think they need to stop. That's me personally. Stop. And prove that you really need to be an asylum seeker. That's me. That's my personal belief. Because it's a communist country, Celia. Put it back up, Andre. You took it down. Why are Venezuelans singled out for expanded work authorization? Totally unfair to others. Because they're coming from what's considered to be a communist country. So anybody who's come from China, anybody who's coming from Russia, Cuba, Venezuela, and dictatorship countries, Middle East, they would be expedited because they are contra. So imagine if you go to give me a heavy Iran, and you go to Iran or Iran. What's the right word? Because I know somebody corrected it. I think it's Iran, right? Or Iran. If you go to Iran and you say the United States of America is the best place to be in the world, and that's counter what the dictatorship of Iran is talking about. You're going to come to the United States because you're an asylum seeker. Because you know they're going to kill you. Or you stand up for women's complete American standards of women's liberation. Right? They're going to kill you. Male or female. Free press. They're going to kill you. So those countries like that. Other countries, hey, you fudged the information. I know. When you deal with immigration, you see it all. Do you think it's going to hurt Biden to now want a wall?
No.
Why not?
I think you know what? This is the best example. What's going on now is the best example of what happens when you have people who advocate for a policy, but when that policy is to be implemented in their backyard, they're like, no. It's like, what they call that, the NIMBY, and this is exactly what happened. Can you imagine the cost in those counties around the border in Texas, what's transpiring? So it's unfortunate, but Abbott said, you know, if you want to be a sanctuary cities, share in what we have been experiencing for all these years. And now that they have gotten an opportunity firsthand, they realize that this is a bipartisan issue. We need to stop the flow of the migrants coming into the United States to give us an opportunity to really fix our immigration system. So those people who have come here legally, who are still in that system, we can move them out and move other people in. But immigration is, you know, anything talking about, you know, making people, you know, citizens, green card, it's always met with fear because they fear that the other party may get a leg up on these new immigrants that come to this country. So, you know, yeah, honestly,
You
I think
know,
it
but
comes down, Roderick and Dr. Bryan, I think it comes down to this. There should definitely be term limits in the legislatures, in Congress. There should definitely be term limits. Definitely. So
yeah,
at that point in time,
I agree.
you know, at that point in time, you're not fixed. You know, you're not. It's like it's not a birthright that you have these seats. You know, in 10 years, 15 years, you're out. Give somebody else an opportunity, and you see people will start vote differently. You know, they voting basically. They're not voting for their constituents. They're voting to just stay in that position to get all the power and the accolades in a position. That's what it is.
You know what else I wish that they would have done? Tie their pay to the federal funding that
Oh yes, it's
federal
government
people,
shutdown. Yep.
because
Hmm.
the thing is there's a lack of consideration when their pay is not affected. But if their pay is
Hmm.
affected, then they'll take it a lot more seriously. They
Oh,
won't.
definitely.
So let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
Let me ask you a question. Right? Let me ask you a question. Do you think that any of them would be willing to vote on that?
Of course not, because they're not going to put their
So
livelihood
then,
at risk.
what's the point of putting it out there?
But it's important to actually make, them.
Again, so that's not my question, right? That's not my question. I think you're right, right? I think John is right, right? Everybody in the studio for once,
But there
we're all.
has to be a way to actually
John,
change
you're the
that.
legislator. How do you get that done?
How do you
How
get
do
it
you get
done?
the, how do you get the government to agree to do something that's counter to their will?
Start removing people, ballot
How does
boxes.
how does removing people who is going to vote against? So in other words,
You know what?
can a
If that's
can
what
a charter
if
revision do it?
that's
Can a charter revision do it
if
on
that's
the
an
ballot?
important, no.
So how are you
No.
going to get the legislator to vote? Is there some mandate in the law besides lobbying? Right, besides
You can
lobbying,
ask for a referendum. You can ask for a referendum. Somebody be,
from
you know,
whom?
put a referendum.
From whom?
Let the public. You want a referendum?
So what? Okay, walk us through a referendum for me. I don't know how to do that. How does somebody walk through that?
I mean, it's a period of, you know, it's a piece of legislation that you want to create a referendum regarding a certain issue that you want to put it out there for. You want to get it on the ballot so people can just vote for this referendum. Should there
So
be
who?
term limits
So the
for the
question
for the
is,
for the people
who
in for the for, uh,
doesn't it have to be brought to the floor?
yes, it does. Yeah. Mhm.
And so that it still comes back
Yeah,
to,
but you got all those people who want to be progressives and good government groups. You know what? Now's the time. You call their bluffs.
many years ago. What's the guy? What's that mayor's name? Bloomberg.
Right.
Bloomberg, and I never forget what Charles Barron did, and Charles Barron and um, what's the guy's name he ran for mayor? the Jewish guy over there in Park Slope.
David Yatsky.
David Yatsky.
Not for mayor. He didn't run for mayor. You mean Klein?
Yeah.
You mean Anthony Weiner?
No. It's Anthony Yatsky. The Yatsky is the right person, right? He voted. He spoke up against the vote. Him and Charles Barron.
Right.
But David Yatsky, I think Charles Barron voted no. Charles Barron voted no. He did vote no.
Right.
Spoke up against it, but still ran under it because it was not legally able for them to run.
Mm-hmm.
So the point that I'm making is they could bring it to the floor all they want. Oh, David Yatsky's famous saying is, I brought it to the, I spoke up against it, but I voted for it because I was outnumbered. Which is baloney. So the referendum is not going to pass because people are going to say, yeah, I agree with you, but I'm not voting for it. Because it affects me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? A person who's 60 years old, 70 years old, like a Chuck Schumer, might vote yes. Because he ain't got further more to go than maybe another term after this one, because he's what, 70 something, 69, 70. Right? He's been in office now almost 20 years, 3 terms. 2024 would be the end of his 3rd term. Right? Because he got elected in 98. Right? So, what's his name was in office since 1972 or 73. Joe Biden. Right? He got elected at 79 and he was 29 and he was 1 year short of being in office. So he ran and turned the age that he needed to turn to be in office.
Good night, Jennifer.
Thank you, Jennifer. That's the point. Some folk hid in the bathroom so they didn't have to vote. That's the point I'm going to make it. So the question is, there has to be another way around the system.
Yes,
so that you can get more things done.
To their crazy system that they put in place to affect everyone. So they need to as much as the soldiers and some of the social security, some of the elderly, they need to feel that same pressure.
Right.
You know. Right. So to me, that to me is very, very crazy. That things are done. Let's get to George Santos real fast because we don't want to run out of time.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, because we started late.
What's up with George Santos? What do you do now?
He's your boy, man. He's your boy. You voted for him out there in Long Island. Improper vetting of a candidate. He now is charged with identity theft.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to address it. My mother brought up some important point to me today. But the Democrats they're making phone calls. Even Republicans are calling Democrats to ask him to step down.
Yeah.
George Santos is still in office. And he's going to continue until there's a speaker.
Well, yeah, that's the
right?
thing.
And he's charged with identity theft. Credit card fraud and identity theft. His treasurer has took a plea bargain for the crimes committed. He said he was not aware. John, have you ever ran a campaign that you're completely unaware of finances of your account?
Yes.
That you
you
right?
trying to stay aware. You try, but
no. No, you like my big thing when I was running for office, I signed no checks.
Yeah, of course.
Right. I signed no checks. Nobody can tell me I signed a check for anything during my campaign. Nothing at all. But in a campaign meeting, we're paying this for that. Right? We're paying this for that or that for that.
You're paying what vendors?
Right. You're paying vendors. We're having a fundraiser. We're charging this, blah, 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 blah. This was the intake. You know how much money, more or less, it's in your coffer, right? You have an idea, right? You have to ultimately agree that, hey, we're going to go to this event. The campaign will pay for this event, right? Right, or the campaign manager. So one of the two of you will have to agree to what you're paying for. So you can't tell me that he was completely unaware that he was credit card fraud, that he was using the credit card. You didn't see that I was using John Sampson's credit card, and I'm not John Sampson, and I'm calling myself John Sampson. You didn't see
Wait
that?
a minute. The guy didn't win enough votes.
No, he didn't.
No, Khaleesi, no.
Steve Khaleesi,
So what does that mean? They still don't have nobody.
they have to, just like what they did earlier in
Kevin?
with Kevin. They have to keep going until he gets whatever that number of votes necessary.
But he stepped out. Scalise said he's not running for speaker.
Scalise.
Oh, he ended his. So that means Jim Jordan?
No, Jim Jordan got to get the votes. He can't get the votes either. Jim Jordan would be the worst.
Yeah, but that's who Trump endorsed.
It doesn't matter.
That doesn't mean anything. Everybody who Trump endorsed last time lost. So
Matt Gaetz is not going to get the vote. Nobody.
the hell no.
Nobody who, none of the 8 persons who voted to shut down remove McCarthy will get the majority vote. And the Democrats are going to vote no for everybody. Anybody who runs is going to vote no.
So they put Hakeem Jeffers' name on the list. You know
But
that, right?
He won't get it.
He won't get it, so he doesn't need to run. He's not going to get it because every Republican is going to vote no. And if he runs and wins, he's linked up.
So do you think that they purposely did this so that they could put everything at a halt?
No.
No, I think they really did it with no plan. They really thought that somebody was going to step up that they could stand behind. That's exactly what happened. They thought somebody was going to be there that they could stand behind for them to get the vote, and they were wrong.
So what happens now?
Nothing. Nothing. No business can happen.
Keep going.
Yeah, they keep going
You get a speaker.
Until they
You get
hit
speaker.
November, when everything is back on hold, because it was just expanded just for a little bit, right?
Say it again.
Hopefully they'll be able to get a speaker before the next deadline for the country going into bankruptcy or whatever.
Yeah. No, but they're not going to get one.
So what's gonna happen? We are living with those days spoken able in the Bible.
What are you talking about?
Monet wrote that.
We're living with those days spoken able. I don't know what that means, Monet.
So
Footprints Cafes now offers Caribbean flatbreads, available in 11 mouthwatering flavors, including favorites like jerk chicken, curry chicken, honey garlic chicken or shrimp, ackee and saltfish, garlic cheese, and more. Our flatbreads are satisfying and can be enjoyed by the entire family. So make it a flatbread night at Footprints and enjoy the fusion of flavors. These flatbreads are so good, you might just have to fight for that last piece. Good thing there's plenty more where that came from. Get yours today from any of our Footprints locations. Want to enjoy your flatbread at home? Then order on Uber Eats and get it delivered right to your door. We'll see you there.
Call Howard Housing Solution today for all your real estate needs. Sellers, we can get top dollar for your home, and our vast network of professionals can facilitate your move and help you purchase your dream home in another state. Buyers, we have a pulse on the market and can get you in a home quickly. Property owners, we can manage your property efficiently and allow you peace of mind. So why wait? Call Howard Housing Solutions today at 646-825-5560 for your sale, purchase, or property management needs. Conveniently proudly located in East New York, Brooklyn. You can come to us at 577 New Lots Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, or we can visit in the comfort of your home. Call Howard's Housing Solutions today at 646-825-5560. Howard Housing Solutions, real estate simplified.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the Grace Family Adult Social Daycare. They'll be having an open house coming up in the next couple of weeks. Please make sure you pay attention to it. Call 646-504-5778 for information. We ensure a healthy and happy life for our elders. I think we focus to ensure a healthy and happy life for our adults and our elders in our communities. All right. If the person has Medicaid accepted, call for an appointment to come through 1330 Utica Avenue to get a tour, see what's happening there. They get free breakfast, free lunch, free beverages in between, sponsored by Kiva Management Services. Again, 646-504-5778. Email at gracefamilyadult@gmail.com. Check us out on www.gracefamilyasdcare.com. Have a great evening. So, John, oh, he's not there. Yeah. So what we're saying, I mean, and again, we went off on a tangent a little bit because we just found out that Steve Scalise has now officially withdrawn his hat to become the next speaker. So now it's even more in turmoil because he was one of the top candidates along with Jim Jordan and McGovern, who's now the deputy speaker. And I think he withdrew his hat as well and want to remain deputy speaker. The reality of the situation, go back to George Santos and Bob Menendez. The Democrats are hell-bent on getting rid of Bob Menendez. The Republicans are hesitant about getting rid of George Santos. If it was the Democrats, George Santos would not be in Congress right now. He would not be. Because it's guilty until proven innocent, but you have already lost your seat. So you now will lose your seat, but focus on clearing your name out of your seat. Yeah, if you think about it, right? If you think about it, how many Democrats have been out of seat because of guilty before proven innocent? Right? When you think about it. George Santos, there's nothing that George Santos has done that warrants him to stay in office from what we have read. Don't want to tear in that. The New York State legislation led by Senator Andrew Denars, our lieutenant, our attorney general, and our governor has led an attack on Twitter to seek, to censor and focus on the issue of mental health for safer children, to focus on mental health of our kids. So basically what they're trying to do is convince social media platforms that they're convinced that social media platforms are fueling mental health crisis among young people with the stuff that they put on, the images, the conversation, the different things that people came through, and some of these different games that, like that, what is it? The I something game, the this game, that game, that has caused lives, right? New Yorkers are struggling with record levels of anxiety and depression, and social media companies use an addictive feature to keep minors on their platform longer are larger to blame for that. I don't like the word largely. I think they're part of the blame, right? Because we're also as parents, and I have to do that now with my kids, right? Cut them down. My son is watching TikTok regularly now, actually more than I would like him to, and YouTube. So we have to do that. So anyway, the focus in Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube will all be subjected to legislation that allows users under 18 to opt out of receiving algorithmic feeds, allowing parents to allow algorithmic feeds to limit access between 12 a.m. and 6.
How are they monitoring that? You could put all these.
So basically, what happens is the government is going to monitor it, and if they do it,
a lot of kids lie. A lot of kids lie when they sign up for these things. Are you kidding?
But Dr. Brian, don't do that, right? Don't
It's
do
the
that
truth.
part. No. What I'm saying is, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm just saying don't do that because it's like saying I'm not going to do nothing. You can't. How am I going to know that Dr. Brian is really birthday is June? What is it? June 17th.
No, it's not. That's John's birthday. Mine's is the 15th.
Whatever. One is the 17th, one is the 15th, one is the 19th, one is the 10th, and one is the 12th. It's too many birthdays for me to remember all of them.
But today is my mommy's birthday. Shout out
Happy birthday, Mrs. Pierce.
Paris.
Happy birthday. But the point is, I'm saying, how do you know? When you put something in, you put a date in. If you want to circumvent, YouTube
Exactly.
says, Yahoo says
Teenagers
18.
lie. Little people because they want
But
to get.
everybody doesn't lie.
Okay.
And everybody doesn't know how to lie
Okay.
that well yet. But it's a system, right? So maybe there can be a grit in the law,
Okay.
right? That add, hey, let's add this to it.
Like our a lot of different laws that's put in place and a lot of things that politicians put in place. How are you going to monitor that? When you put something out, make sure you have a strategy to monitor what it is that you are enforcing. That's all.
Remember, $5,000 fine ain't no pocket change. Well, it's $5 for the first time, and then it goes up.
Monet
So-
wrote, why are we struggling to find people for political office here and everywhere? Good question.
It's not an easy question. It's not a hard question.
Control.
It's not a hard question. The question is that there are things that people go into politics thinking that they can do that they cannot do. That's one. And two, some people have singular issues when they go to office, and when other things approach, they can't fix it. There's one more thing I wanted to talk about before. That's the easy answer. Obviously, there's more to it. There's something else I want to talk about, Dr. Martin.
What, Israel
Israel. Yes, that's it.
and Palestine?
So there's a conflict. Go ahead. You want to start?
I just want people to be mindful that it's not only Israel that's struggling. A lot of the Palestinians are victims as well. You know, war is war no matter what. And there's people that's affected by war. Totally. There's people that's losing family members and they had nothing to do with Hamas. You know, unfortunately, they were at the wrong place at the wrong time, or they were home, but you're being tied to something criminal just because you're at a place or a location. That's what people need to be careful about. Not all Palestinians are the same, and for people to be mindful that all parties are affected, not just one.
Yeah, since 1948, when Israel was recognized as a country in that area, there has been nothing but war, nothing but craziness that are happening. I am not choosing any sides, right? I'm not. I don't know all of the facts, and I'm not going to say because America is an ally of Israel that I need to side with the Israelis. I'm not going to say that because I'm a person of color, I need to side with the Palestinians. Like you said, Dr. Brian, there's some real issues in that region. And if you think about it, almost 40% of the people in the Gaza Strip where this is happening, almost 50% of those people are less than 18 years old. So that means the death rate of those individuals, that region is extremely high. Why is it that high? Right? Why is it so high in that area? So there's some real problems that need to be addressed. I think, like, I'm so tired of these wars, the one that's going in Ukraine and Russia right now, that's still happening.
Yeah, but you haven't heard anything about it. It's been silent.
No, it's still going on. I think my heart goes out to all of those Israelites.
The victims, just victims from Palestine.
My heart, I didn't finish the thought, right? Okay. I'm saying my heart goes out to all of the Israelites out in Israel who were drawn into this war and who have lost their lives, family members who have lost their lives in this war. The same thing goes for all these Palestinians, that young children, 5, 10, 15, schools, hospitals, elderly people who just want to live, just want to go about their business every day and try to survive another day. So I'm not in support of any war, regardless of what anybody want to say and say who deserves it and who doesn't. I am very much in support of people, right? People living and walking the streets every day.
That's it.
In peace. That's what I'm all about. And I'm not using any sides.
Ladies and gentlemen, just be safe out there. That's all we're saying. Just take care of yourself. Be safe out there. Enjoy life. Because you know what is not promised to you, but just make the best of it each day. Happy birthday to all celebrants that's celebrating this month. And hug and love and kiss on your family as you go about. Don't take any day for granted. That's it on my end, Roderick. And thank you for tuning in.
Yes. So next week, we're supposed to be joined by Congresswoman Yvette Clarke. Let's cross our fingers that everything works out in Congress, that she's able to join us. And we'll be on a little bit early next week, right? We'll be on, I think, 6:45 next week to give her time for her to get on and situate herself for 7:05. Actor Dr. Bryant will be in studio next week, too.
Really?
Yeah, Dr. Bryant and John will be in studio.
Really?
Yeah, so
wow.
We're going to have a
That means you're not going to be there? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that all three of us will be here. All four of us will be in studio next week.
Oh, that's nice to know.
All right, so thank you everyone for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Do go out and support the people who support us as well. And if you want to have an opportunity to support us, please send us an email at villageshow30@gmail.com, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for watching, viewing, sharing, participating in the village, where we are dedicated to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life through education, helping each one of us to realize their dreams at any age, at any point, starting from today, where success is not just spoken, it is done. What do you do? See you next time. Good night.